Hey friends, welcome to the channel. I'm Ken Smith and I'm on my way to Dearborn, Michigan for Old Car Festival. Now, I'm bringing our Model A up there, but I took a slight detour and I'm here to tell you all about that slight detour. It's actually about a 350-mile slight detour because I wanted to come to this True Value hardware store out in the middle of Ohio. Now, you might be asking yourself, why? Well, because I have a second love, a second hobby. Besides old cars, I love trains, and especially model trains. And so I'm told that this store has an amazing collection of model trains. And so I'm gonna bring you in there just so you can check it out. So let's go. So like I said, I'm on my way to Old Car Festival, and check that out. A caboose at a hardware store. So let's take a walk around, and here we got this train store in the middle of a True Value hardware store right next to some railroad tracks. And I think that this is just going to be a fun, fantastic visit. It's actually called the Great Train Store, and you can see that right there. But when I called, they actually said, or answered the phone as True Value Hardware. So I can see some LGB signs and the Great Train Store, but I also see, you know, some peat moss sitting outside. They fill up propane. So let's go inside and check this out. But before we go inside this fantastic store, let me tell you about my newest channel, which is all about model trains. I'll throw a link in the description. It's called Old Guy Having Fun with Trains. Now, let's go inside.
In a quiet corner of Ohio, nestled in the heart of New Lima, lies a hardware store unlike any other in America. A third-generation business that sells feed, hammers, nails, and some of the rarest model trains in the country. No Amazon, no eBay, no online sales. It's all done by just handshakes, history, and a whole lot of heart. This is the story of Crouse Mills True Value Hardware, the most unique hardware store in America. Today we're taking you inside a hidden gem that's been quietly building something extraordinary for nearly a century. In fact, we are currently inside of two boxcars that you saw sitting with the caboose on the side of the building at the beginning of the video. This is Crouse Mills True Value, not just a local hardware store, but a living time capsule of American craftsmanship, family legacy, and one of the most unique model train collections you will ever see. And get this, they do everything in person. No websites, no online auctions. As I spoke with John and his mother off camera, I learned that John's grandfather, Harold Krauss, opened this unique place back in the early 1940s. He was a farmer and a fixer, and he started the store because the town needed a place for parts, tools, and the basic necessities. In those days, you didn't drive 30 miles for a screwdriver. You walked into town and got it from someone you knew and trusted. But before it became a hardware store, it originally was a mill. In fact, the mill machinery was eventually removed to make way for the hardware store and eventually the trains, which was first positioned upstairs in the original second story of the mill. As I continued to wander throughout the store, I could not help but think to myself how in the world this unique time capsule really happened. It was a hardware store. It had model trains. It also had vintage toys. This just isn't the average, common combination in a hardware store. How in the world did this even happen? John said that his dad took over the store in the 70s. He expanded the inventory and brought in the True Value name. But Jack also had a passion, and that was model trains. That's when things started to change. According to John, his dad added trains only in the upstairs of the hardware store. And that, by the way, is part of the original mill and will be in that building shortly. The collection continued to grow, and by the mid-'80s, his dad added the boxcars and expanded his collection into the boxcars. I still wondered how in the world this could even happen. John said that his dad grew up in the golden age of Lionel trains. He'd save his money, buy a locomotive, or a car, or a caboose whenever he could. Eventually, customers began bringing in their trains just to show him. Then they would start trading or bartering. It was time for them to sell, or maybe to purchase. Before we knew it, a part of the store became a full-blown train shop. He continued on by telling me that it was all about the relationships, the stories behind each piece, and you just don't get that online. I could not help but ask John, in an age when everything is done online, how is this possible completely offline? John replied to me by saying it's simple. We established trust. We don't do eBay. We don't do Amazon. And if you want to buy or sell something, you have to come in to the store, and it's all done by a shake of the hand. People drive from 5 states away just for that. It's not just business, it's a tradition. And that tradition means everything here. Whether you buy a new power drill or a 1952 Lionel Santa Fe Super Chief in mint condition, it's all about our customer and our tradition. But I'm still curious, so I asked John, how does it work when someone wants to sell their private collection? He said they come in and we sit down. We go through it piece by piece. Every collection has a story. And we want to know the story, because the story is as important to us as the collection is. We want to be able to provide that story to the new collector. Maybe it was their dad's. Maybe it's been in boxes for 40 years. You see, we're not just buying trains. We're preserving memories. We want to know the story because the story is as important to us as the collection is. We want to be able to provide that story to the new collector. Cross Mill's true value isn't just an ordinary hardware store. It's a living reminder of what businesses used to be: personal, local, and built on trust. It's a place where you can buy a paintbrush and walk out with a piece of American railroading history. A place where past, present, and future all ride on the same track. If you are ever near New Lima, Ohio, make the detour. Cross Mill's true value is the kind of place you won't find again. And if you've got a model train collection to sell, well, now you know where to go. But don't expect it to be on a website. You'll have to show up in person because that's just how they like it. Local legends keeping the spirit of America alive. New Lima, Ohio. All about tools, trains, and tradition. John's mother mentioned that they acquired a local train club's entire layout and collection. They agreed to accept the donation on the condition that the club would set up the layout and operate it in one of the storage buildings right next to the hardware store. At the time of my visit and filming of this video, the layout and its collection has been moved into that building, and the goal is to have it completely operational by the end of 2026. I asked John that it sounds like you are paving the way for a fourth generation to continue on. He grinned and said, "Well, we'll see." Crouse Mill's true value isn't just an ordinary hardware store. It's a living reminder of what businesses used to be: personal, local, and built on trust. It's a place where you can buy a paintbrush and walk out with a piece of American railroading history. A place where past, present, and future all ride on the same track. If you are ever near New Lima, Ohio, make the detour. Cross Mill's true value is the kind of place you won't find again. And if you've got a model train collection to sell, well, you know where to go. But don't expect a website. You'll have to show up in person because that's just how they like it. Local legends keeping the spirit of America alive. Krauss True Value Hardware. Tools, trains, tradition. I hope you enjoyed that. Have a wonderful day, and you all be blessed.